Well, guys, I never believed for 1 second that Joe Biden and Kamala Harris were the best of friends. Never believed that. If you guys remember, during the 2020 primaries, Kamala Harris accused Joe Biden of being a racist because he opposed busing. She went out there and really took it to Joe Biden for being a racist. However, she ended up becoming Joe Biden's number 2. Now, I don't believe that Joe Biden actually chose her because he liked her. Joe Biden chose her for DEI points. Remember, Joe Biden said that his running mate would actually be a woman. And pretty much everything that Joe Biden has done has been for DEI purposes. Remember Ketanji Brown Jackson? He said that he was going to appoint a black woman to the Supreme Court. That was the only qualification. And when it comes to Kamala Harris, her only qualification was to be a woman and allegedly black. Nothing more. Now, I've been saying, guys, that it definitely seems like Joe Biden is doing Kamala Harris no favors whatsoever during her presidential campaign. Because I truly do believe, guys, that he doesn't want Kamala Harris to win. I'm just going to be real. I believe that Joe Biden is very, very upset with the Democrats for staging a coup against him to get him out of there. Nancy Pelosi, Kamala Harris, word is that the 25th Amendment was threatened on him if he didn't resign. I mean, Joe Biden should have saw this coming, folks. I saw it coming. And when we all saw that debate against President Trump, we knew that the Democrats really were planning on eliminating Joe Biden because that CNN debate was just way too fair. They wanted him gone. So word now is coming down, guys, that Joe Biden and Kamala Harris, oh boy, they're not on the best of terms. Look at this, guys, right here. Shade war between Kamala and Biden heats up as election day nears. Now, this isn't necessarily coming from the post-millennial. This is coming from Axios here, guys. Let's read this. It says, as election day approaches, tensions between Kamala Harris's team and Beijing Biden's White House staff are reportedly under strain, according to sources who spoke with Axios. And the Axios article is right here. Tensions rise between Harris and Biden teams as election nears. And I believe it's all because Joe Biden is very, very upset that he was pushed out. It says here, the friction stems from lingering frustration within Biden's camp over Beijing Biden being pressured by his own party to step down and not run for re-election. While the Biden team is still supporting a Harris victory, I'm questioning that. In November, many remain uneasy about the transition from running Biden's re-election campaign to now backing a different candidate. Quote, they're too much in their feelings, a close Harris ally told Axios, referring to Biden's team. There have also been concerns regarding miscommunication within event coordination and media strategy. Last Friday, Biden held an impromptu White House press conference just as Harris was about to participate in a key campaign event in the swing state of Michigan. TV coverage switched from her event to that of Beijing Biden speaking. Folks, that was by design. I believe that the Biden team knew what was happening, and because Joe Biden never goes to any of these press briefings. He showed up, and then magically the TV cameras turned away from Kamala Harris to Joe Biden. And right now, guys, things are looking pretty bad for Kamala Harris. But Joe Biden is really out there sabotaging her campaign. Joe Biden never say that he wants Trump to win. He'll never do that. But this man actually was out there wearing a Trump 2024 hat. Remember that, guys. Now, that was in Pennsylvania. That was around 9/11. It was a bunch of Trump supporters. But Trump would never wear a Harris 2024 hat, even if it was actually her supporters. He would never do that. But Joe Biden did that. I think he really doesn't want her to win. He's very, very upset. And I got to be honest, man. If I was him, I would be very upset too. I really would. Anyway, it goes on. Additionally, during the ongoing news coverage of hurricanes on the East Coast, Harris criticized Florida Governor Ron DeSantis for not taking her phone call. However, Biden publicly praised DeSantis for being gracious and cooperative in handling the disaster. DeSantis met with Biden and accused Harris of making a political game out of the disaster in his state. Quote, "The White House is lacking someone in the room thinking first and foremost about how things would affect the campaign," a source from the Harris campaign told Axios. However, some have wondered whether these examples of miscommunication between the two teams are intentional due to the lingering resentment from the Biden team. This also comes after Biden's odd decision to playfully wear a Trump hat in front of reporters in Pennsylvania. That's what I was just talking about, guys. That's what I was talking about right there. I'm pretty sure that Kamala Harris did not like that. The strained relationship is also evident as several Biden aides have left the White House to join the Harris campaign. This has caused some within Biden's circle to feel that those departing are being labeled as disloyal. Quote, "Everyone from Beijing Biden on down knows how important this election is, and we always anticipated a number of staff would want to transition from the administration to the campaign for the final switch," a White House official admitted to Axios. Speculation has persisted that Biden, along with his wife, Jill, harbor resentment over leaders within the Democratic Party for withdrawing their support in his re-election efforts. Notably, when Biden first announced his resignation, he did not initially endorse Harris as his successor in his resignation letter. His endorsement only came later, I believe like a few hours later, fueling rumors of lingering bitterness. Reports also suggest that both Joe and Jill Biden remain upset with Democratic leaders like Nancy Pelosi over how the decision to step down was handled, and that Jill feels betrayed by the series of events that unfolded. Yeah. Folks, like I said, man, when CNN allowed that debate to go on in a good way, we knew that something wasn't right. Because there's no way in the world CNN would actually be fair doing a Trump-Biden debate. But they did because they wanted Joe Biden gone. And something's telling me, guys, that the higher-ups in the Democratic Party went to CNN and told him, hey, we're getting Joe Biden out of here. We need to make him look as bad as possible, so don't do anything. And what happened? Trump destroyed him. And then the coup was in place. And you know what? Maybe Joe Biden actually had a final trick up his sleeve when he said, all right, I'm not going to endorse Kamala. But then he puts out a post and says, hey, I'm endorsing Kamala. And it took days before Obama came out and supported Kamala Harris. And what's happened since then, guys? Oh, it's bad. The Kamala campaign is bad. She thought she could actually go out there and pull a Joe Biden from 2020 and not do any interviews or whatever. It didn't work. Now she's actually going out there and speaking, and it's completely backfired. Maybe even Joe Biden, in his demented state, knew that Kamala Harris was that bad. Remember, her only qualification to be his number two was to be a woman. That was it. No other qualifications, man. This woman is incompetent, and maybe even Joe Biden knew. That's just my thoughts on this. What do you guys think of this? Black and White Network fans, Let us know what you think about all this in the comments. Make sure to subscribe to the channel. And we'll catch you next time.